Pokemon versus Digimon.
Yes.
So to kick things off, everybody, this is...
Hi, I'm Sal.
Stay Your Blade.
Hi.
Look him up.
Yeah.
He does things.
I have a channel on YouTube and stuff, and I'll be vlogging this whole spiel. So yeah.
And we invited him over to our house to have a little bit of a conversation about stuff. This was his idea, so you can thank him for this. We let him choose. And yeah.
Cool.
Go.
Fuck Pikachu. Pikachu is a piece of shit.
His tail.
Agumon versus Pikachu. Agumon's gonna rape him every time. Yeah. Every time.
Oh my god.
Alright, so... Yeah. Alright, so I think Pokemon definitely got the whole, like... what's the word? They got, like, the franchise down. They understand how the fuck to do a franchise correctly. Because they're still around and they're still, like, relevant. But I still think Digimon is a much better TV show.
Yeah, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. Digimon has come a long way in its gaming.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Nate still plays Digimon World 2.
Yeah.
Because he's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why. Because it is the most, like... A child would never figure out how to operate this game. And B, it's so complicated how to get the Digimon you want. So first you have to, like, mate these two Digimon, then these two, then these two, then these two. And then you'll get the baby version of the one you want. And then you have to raise it from nothing. It is a long... I'm not kidding either. It's not a simple... Find the Digimon, get the Digimon, move on. It's not like that. Like Pokemon. You find the Pokemon, you catch the Pokemon, you train...
It's stupid proof.
That's the thing. It's like... not even that. It's just really difficult to wrap your mind around. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because he explained it to me, and I'm like... I don't understand that very much so now, let alone if I was a child.
Mm-hmm.
So... Back in the day, I don't really think the games were really good. Possible to understand.
For Pokemon?
For Digimon.
Oh, yeah, Digimon were...
Yes. For Pokemon, very straightforward. You find a Pokemon, you catch a Pokemon, you beat gym leaders, done.
Well, see, now, and the thing I don't like about with Pokemon is that they've gotten too complicated. It's like, oh, is it the right nature? No. Okay, throw it back. Does it have the right IVs? No, throw it back. It's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I caught the fucking Pokemon I wanted. Like, I've had people soft reset to catch, like, the right Mewtwo. Like, what the fuck is that?
It's true. It happens. Honestly, a lot of that is also for the competitive scene.
Mm-hmm.
I know a big part of it is that, because, like, I was considering getting into competitive Pokemon, not for, like, going to, like, world tournaments or anything like that, but just to see what it's like and train your Pokemon. It's a whole other world. It's so much more than just catch a Pokemon you like, give it the moves you like, beat the game.
Yeah.
Which is how Pokemon is traditionally set up for at least the Game Boy games. And almost all the other games that I can think of, too. At least the ones that are, like, very, very popular, like, the Colors. And now we're on to Sun and Moon and things like that. That's pretty straightforward. Although they added a lot more into the mix, it's always pretty much been catch a Pokemon you like, train a Pokemon you like, win the game.
Right.
They just add a lot more things, a lot more changing, like natures, EVs, IVs. When they introduced eggs, which was in Pokemon, Gold back in the day, you could give, like, certain Pokemon that couldn't learn a certain move if you trained. So, like, example, I mated a Charizard with a Dragonite.
Yeah.
Or a Charizard with something. The something knew Earthquake.
Yeah.
And, no, it was a Dragonite with something else.
Yeah.
So I can teach my Dragonite Earthquake, or I can teach my Charizard Earthquake, something like that.
The one thing I don't like about Pokemon is that it just got too competitive. For me, it's like...
They get pretty competitive.
I wish that it had, like, the original spirit of the game. Like, you had to have a game, and I had to have a game, and we had to sit next to each other and play with a cord between us.
I remember that. Oh, yeah.
Like, that was the thing, but now, like, Pokemon is just... It's not. It's just... It's basically like any other online game where you can tell the other person, like, that you fucked their mother because you just beat their Pikachu. It's like Call of Duty. To me, it's like Call of Duty. And it sucks because Call of Duty is it turned into, okay, you have this gun, but now you're in this time era. Oh, you have this gun, now you're in this time era. It's like, but like, I liked Digimon because the first season they were in They were in the digital world. And then the next season they weren't. They were back home for a bit, and then they went to the digital world. Like it made a difference because you changed settings, and it wasn't that Digimon weren't a part of your real world. So not everyone understood what Digimon were. Pokemon, it was like, oh,
commonplace.
That's a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
If you saw a monster walking around, you'd probably freak the fuck out. These people, they've accepted it.
Yeah, they've grown up with it essentially.
Right. Well, like Digimon, I love it because it was like the wonderment of like what the hell is going on. Like the people with Pokemon, they're like, "Oh, you're 10 years old. Time to go out on your fucking adventure." It's like, no, that's not what happened.
I mean, I guess if you really think about it too, because I think what Pokemon tried to do, because they approached it from two completely different angles.
Right.
Which was smart, because Digimon came after Pokemon. And Digimon was actually not really so much inspired by Pokemon.
Yeah.
Digimon was more inspired by, like, Tamagotchis.
Oh, yeah.
Remember those little things that were, like, this big? You press buttons and it did stuff? And Digimon was, like, the badass version of Tamagotchi. It had these, like... You had these, like, giant dudes in armor that could, like... And the other dudes that could, like, shoot fireballs. And then, it was like almost like the targeted male audience for Tamagotchis. Because when we were kids, Tamagotchis was a thing, but a lot of females had them.
Right. I had two of them. I had the original, which was the original, like, the original Digidestin's Digivoice. And then I had the next generation, which was even fucking better. And I still have it. It's in my house, and I should have brought it with me, but I didn't. I fucking didn't. I forgot it. But it's the white one, and I used to have the fucking... It was like a see-through greenish looking one.
And the blue one, and the yellow one.
That was the best. But I used to carry it around on my fucking pocket, and people thought I was fucking weird. They thought I was weird as shit because I had that thing all the time. Even in, like, school. And in school, like, you weren't supposed to have it, but, like...
Oh, yeah.
But...
You did.
You fucking did.
Yeah.
Like, you still play Pokemon in the bathroom, and
of course.
And
at lunch, when lunch age walked by, you just close you didn't close your DS, and so you put your Game Boy in your pocket.
Put your Game Boy in your pocket. Fucking
exactly.
You didn't close anything.
Yeah, you just put it away. And that was a thing, like a big part of it too, because I remember growing. Because I mean, this year is the 20-year anniversary of Digimon.
Is it?
It's 2017,
Holy
and
shit.
I'm only 5 days old, but 2017 is the 20th anniversary of Digimon. I didn't have any Digimon games when I was growing up. I was never a big Digimon person. Like, I liked to watch the show.
Yeah.
Because it was, like, giant, badass things. Like, Pokemon, they went for a cuter angle, which isn't bad. It's fun and it's cute. I mean, look at how cute this freaking Pikachu is. It's adorable. And then Agumon's a dinosaur. I mean, the dinosaurs are cute, but...
Agumon, I'm telling you, Agumon would Pikachu in the and not care.
Well...
Agumon is a beast. He's a beast. He's a fucking beast. I'm gonna say this right now. If I pitted those two against each other in like a cockfight ring, Pikachu's gonna end up dead. I'm sorry. Pikachu might be a level 1,000,000, but Agumon can go to fucking War Greymon. Fuck him. I'm just throwing it out.
Because you can do that in mid-battle.
Oh my god, yes.
That was really cool.
That was my fucking favorite part. Like, really he's cool. Dying. Fucking Digivolve. Like,
right. And I thought that was really neat, too, how they handle evolution. Because they both have evolution as their thing, as their, like, main aspect of when you grow stronger, your Pokemon literally evolves to the next stage of, you could argue, just evolution in general. Like, that was really cool that they both had that. Because there's a lot of similarities and a lot of differences between the two. I did watch the Pokemon show because I thought it was, like, really neat. I love, like, how much it was about adventure.
Yeah.
And it was very, like, a playful adventure, whereas... Digimon was a little bit more serious. There's nothing wrong with that.
It was like just dark.
It was
dark.
It definitely had it's more of an emotional range because it was very heightened. Digimon felt more like an anime, heightened emotions and colors, and when they would DNA Digivolve or just Digivolve in general, was a massive cutscene and this craziness, and it was really, really cool. So it was fun to watch. Even as an adult, it's fun to watch the craziness of it, how over the top it was. Pokemon was a little bit more tamed, but Pokemon wasn't necessarily about the spectacle as much as it was so about the sense of adventure.
Okay, I gotta ask a question then. So there's between the two shows, there was kind of like heart-wrenching parts in both shows. In at least the first season, it was the first season. So there's Wizardmon dying in Digimon.
Yeah.
And then there's Ash giving up like his Pokemon, certain Pokemon like Charizard and
very
like
emotional
and like Butterfree.
Yeah, very emotional.
He gives up those two Pokemon.
Yeah.
Now, between those two, what's worse for you? What was the worst part? Because to me, it was the Wizardmon. To me, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry. Like, this is horrible.
Because he's gonna be gone.
Yeah, he's gone for good.
Like, there's no him anywhere. Whereas
Right.
giving away, letting Charizard go and giving Butterfree away was, they're still gonna be alive.
Right.
So it has less. There's no mortality involved because, like, Pokemon, nothing dies in Pokemon.
Yeah,
The universe,
you just
nobody
faint.
dies, nothing dies. It faints. Whereas in Digimon, it dealt with mortality, where it's like it's gone, dead, done.
Yes.
So it's very. It took a much more. It hit a much more morbid place.
I mean, both. Yeah, I mean, if you look at like Ty versus Ash.
Yeah.
Ty, he was an adventurous, but he was a leader.
Yeah.
Ash, when he started, he wasn't a leader. He was a schmuck.
kid,
He was a schmuck stealing bikes. Like, he didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, he just wanted to go on this adventure. He was 10 years old, and he knew what he was getting into. But, like, Ty fell into it. And when he fell into it, it was like, okay, now what the fuck do I do?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like Ty kind of had it harder in that situation because he knew falling into this, like, this is fucked up. But, like, Ash kind of was like, oh, this is a great adventure. I'm going on an adventure now.
Indeed.
I'll see you in a little bit, Mom. Like, that's
True.
not...
It was very different approaches.
Right. And I like the fact that in Pokemon, the sense of adventure was like, okay, well, you're 10 years old now, and you can either stay here and learn and be, grow up to be an adult and do other things, or you can go out on your Pokemon adventure and, see the world. And for me, when I saw this show, because I watched Pokemon first, of course, because Digimon wasn't on yet. So Pokemon, it really captivated me. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Like, just the sheer amazing, like, holy shit, you're gonna go on an adventure and have like all these friends and like, and I think that sense of like camaraderie and like, being with your friends, that's what like transferred to like real life for me. Because I was like, oh, cool, I can hang out with my friends and play Pokemon.
Oh yeah. That's a big part of it too. Is like, well, I think both shows have a strong sense of friendship, if not yes to each other as humans,
Right.
But as well as you can tell, they're Pokemon or they're Pokemon or they're Digimon. They're friends. They're what would you call them together? They're monsters because they're both technically monsters. Pocket monsters, and that's a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, digital monsters.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. So they're both monsters in a respect.
Yeah.
But they're friends. And I think the really cool thing about both shows that I really liked, which is why I also enjoyed watching Digimon, was that the sense of adventure, yes, but also the friendship between the other humans, but also their companions. Companions is a good word, too.
Yeah.
They're monsters.
The thing I liked about Digimon was that there was not one Digimon that didn't talk, and I liked the talking feature.
It's very different. Very different.
It was a cool concept that they were like, okay, well, Pokemon, they don't talk; they just say their name, and then the humans interpret that as talk, and they figure it out.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, I enjoyed because you got more of a sense of like an actual personality. Yeah, like Agumon, he was a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
and and you can see it through like the way that they talked. They're either like Tentomon, super smart. And they matched with their person. Like Pikachu, when he started, he didn't match with Ash. He actually hated Ash.
Yeah, it's true.
So
yeah, it's true.
And I also like between the two shows, I liked that Digimon, the people grew up. Like in the later seasons, Ty and all of them came back. And they were adults. Yeah, that's true. Ash has been 10 years old for fucking 20 years now.
Right.
Like the dude
20 plus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like He's definitely not 10 anymore, guys.
It's true.
You can make him older and start a new person.
Well, they've started new people, but they never really... I don't think they've ever really aged Ash, although I haven't watched the newest Pokemon.
I think this picture is actually from one of the newest Pokemon.
Well, I know, yeah, because his character design is a little bit different. Like his hat, the Pokeball on his hat is a little bit different from what it used to be. So, I mean, his hoodie's a different color.
Yeah.
So, yeah, okay. So they definitely kept it around the same then. All right. They probably have a different voice actor, though. So that's kind of one way they decided to modernize Pokemon by that. In addition to the construction of the cities, back in the old Pokemon games, the cities looked very classic. Now you've got 3 dimensions. There's like Megatron, like big giant TV screens. There's like, you've got all this crazy advanced technology nowadays, and in the Pokemon universe, at least, especially in the games, and it's kind of like embracing the future, whereas Digimon has kind of always been ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, the idea of being digitally projected into a video game was essentially a video game was far removed, but now we have VR, where it's kind of blurring the line between projecting yourself literally into a video game, and it's just different.
I could see if they really wanted to, like if I don't even know the name of the makers of Digimon, but the people that made Digimon, I think that it would be cool as if they wanted to make a new game, make it VR. Make it, and it might be hard to concept think about it, but like put it on PlayStation VR. Put it on the PlayStation VR and make it so literally you enter into the digital world. Now, when you don't enter in the now, would be cool, and this is just my throwing it out there. PlayStation, if you want to take it, I'll take a big fat check. The best thing to do would be make it like a VR non-VR game. So part of it's VR, and the other part is you come out and you're not in VR, and then you can see your Digimon on the TV, but you're not in the game with them.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I see it. Yeah, I see it. Okay, I see what you're saying.
It's very hard to stretch, but it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Pokemon, I don't know, they're, like I said, they're rinse and repeat in this game, and it's like they're running out of colors. They ran out of stones. They ran out of things to. Now they're at Sun and Moon. What's the next? What's the next game? I proposed the idea for Digimon. I'll propose an idea for Pokemon, and I've been saying this from probably 2 years ago. I said this. What they need to do with Pokemon is they need to start from the beginning, and you start at Ash Ketchum, day 1, red version, blue version, yellow version. Okay. And you start off in that world. You
Kanto
work through
region, basically?
Yep. You start in Kanto.
Okay.
And you work through Kanto. Then you go to Johto. Then you go to the next one. Then you go to the next one. You go to the next one.
Yeah.
You keep going until you're at the end, because you can make it one big ass game.
You can.
You can.
But
here's it's like a Skyrim. Think about it. How many fucking times do you play Skyrim over and over and over? It's a million times, because there's so much to do. And you can go back to Johto, and you can go back to Kanto, and you can fly all the way back to the beginning.
Yeah.
And then when you're done, go to the Johto, go to the and go to the Elite Four. The thing is that and the one thing I do like that Pokemon has done is that they've made the Elite Four harder every single time you go back now. So when you go back, when you go originally, it's like, oh, they're at 50, 55, 60. Yeah. And then when you go back the next time, they're like 75. Like, oh, shit.
It's scaling with your Pokemon.
Oh, and it does.
Or even just in general.
Right. And it's good because...
It adds replayability.
Right. Exactly. But, I think playing a game through all of the games would be badass.
There's no doubt that is a fantastic idea. But releasing literally all of the Pokemon games for only $40, because if they... of course, they could jack up the price.
Oh, yeah. Make it like $100. I would still buy it.
I'm sure a lot of us would still buy it. It's a really big risk, because then it also renders almost all the other games obsolete.
Oh, yeah.
Because now you've got one game with all the universes. You don't need to buy all the other games with all the fractions of the same universe. So, of course, it's a great idea, and I would love it, and I would definitely play it, if not certainly buy it.
Yeah.
It's just, how do how do you make money off of that? How do you keep the train moving when it comes to that? It's almost like releasing a greatest hits album. Like most artists don't release a greatest hits album until their career is
done,
basically over.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's a big risk to do that. Speaking of franchising and like branching off into different options, Pokemon Go was a huge step in a similar direction, but it went into an entirely new demographic when you put a phone app out. It was a really good idea because every time when you were a kid, I want to go out and catch Pokemon too.
Yes.
So I want to do it. So then they gave you the capability by putting it on your phone. It was genius.
The thing is, like, Pokemon Go, they do a great job of bringing Pokemon to the real world and bringing it to my hands.
And that's kind of what they've tried to do with Pokemon too, especially when it comes to the games. Whereas when you add a bunch of more avenues to where like nature is a thing and IVs and EVs are a thing, and how you evolve the game to add to it's to bring in more people because it gives the game different types of enjoyment factors.
Right.
Some people like it for the adventure. Some people like it for the competitive nature. Some people like it for the finding that one Pokemon that you've wanted forever and making the perfect egg just for the fact that you did it.
Right.
I know my one friend, he's like, I hatched like 300 eggs before I got the Pokemon that I wanted with the right EVs, IVs, and nature and gender. Like 300 eggs. And he's like, he was so happy when it happened. And I was like, that's great. That's what he likes to do. I don't like to do that, but that's just me. So that's kind of one way Pokemon's tried to answer its very samey formula. Whereas Digimon has completely changed its like basic formula. Back in the day, it was like a dungeon crawler. You were in a tank.
Yeah.
You drove around, run into things like a turn-based RPG, and then now it's different.
Well, and I like Pokemon originally because it was simple. It was stupid proof. It was like there was no. If you had never played a Pokemon game before, you could pick up red, yellow, gold, silver, and be like, "Oh, okay, this is easy." Yeah. Once it got to like, once it got to the DS, that's when it started getting difficult and stupid. Because it really did. There was the last Pokemon game I played was X and Y, and I didn't play it because I was trying to catch everything and make it I played it for the simple fact that I just wanted to play a Pokemon game, and I had not played one in a long time, and that was it. Yeah. With I wish that Digimon would come out with a game. Because I'd probably play it.
Well, they have one out for the PS4 that came out relatively recently. I've never played it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't checked into like the scoring or anything like that because I'm not that interested. I'm also probably not going to get Sun and Moon, to be honest with you.
Right. Same.
But Digimon stayed kind of relatively up on there. But the thing is about Pokemon that could make it good or bad is that you are restricted to something mobile. Yeah. Having a Pokemon game on your console has always been like a cute idea that they've tried before, but it never really panned out. Because the very nature of the game, which is highlighted in Pokemon Go, is literally just walking around. So when you put it on the DS, it just makes sense. Yeah. I can walk around with my DS in my pocket, pull it out, catch Pokemon while I'm walking around. Yeah. It just made more sense. You could take it on the go. You could sit in the park with your friends. Like I know when I was a kid, I did that all the time. During recess, I would pull out my Game Boy Advance. We would all sit around the table at recess and trade Pokemon. That's just what we did. Yeah. It just made sense. So in that respect, they're kind of tethered to walking around. Right. Whereas Digimon, you can release a console game and it still fits the spirit of the show. Because Digimon's about adventure, but it's more so about digital. So when you pick up a controller and you look at a TV screen, you're going into the digital world. It's basically that. So they can do a little bit more flexibility when it comes to consoles. Yeah. Which console games are $60. Nintendo DS games are $40. Right. So you can see that little bit of difference there. Makes a big difference. I
like the way that I like the way that Digimon chose their people.
What do you mean chose their people?
Okay, so in Digimon, it was a Digidestined. You were destined to do this. Okay. This wasn't, you're not 10 years old and said, oh, you know what, fuck this, I'm going out and I'm catching Pokemon and I'm gonna be a Pokemon master. You were Digidestined. You were literally picked from the fucking Digigods to do this. And if it wasn't for the digital world picking you, you were just a human being.
Yeah.
You know, you weren't some, like I said, you weren't some schmuck stealing bikes like Ash. You're Ty, who got picked out of a million people. You got picked with your friends at this camp to drop into the digital world and save the digital world. And like that's a gravity in which a 10-year-old can't concept. But God, now I'm 25 years old. That concept is crazy to me because it's like they could have easily said, no, fuck this, I'm done. But they didn't. They grasped it and said, I'm going to do this. Like, yes, Ash went on an adventure, but he chose that adventure.
True.
He chose what he wanted to do.
Yeah, that's really the stark difference between the two is the inception of when you're a Pokemon trader and when you're a Digimon master. What is it called? Digimaster.
Digidestin, I guess.
Just go with Digidestin.
Yeah,
sure. And that's kind of what the biggest difference is when it comes to initiation. Is that when you're a Pokemon trainer, you just have to decide one day, fuck it, I'm going to be a Pokemon trainer. Right. And but that's the thing is like it made it less responsibility because it's not really Digimon is a responsibility. Like you were chosen, you have to save the world. Yeah, the digital world, but the world. Yeah, it has such a gravity to it, like you were saying, and it had a really deep sense of emotionality in terms of becoming an adult. You're right. Because one of the biggest hallmarks of becoming an adult is responsibility. Right. So it was growing up in a very under the gun. It was like growing up on like save the world. You're going to grow up because I have a gun to your head, literally. Yeah. Whereas Pokemon, you're growing up because you're meeting new people and new Pokemon, having new experiences, seeing different places and all this other crazy stuff. And it's growing up in a much more different world, essentially. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, it's at 10 years old, you start off and you're like, I'm gonna be a Pokemon master, and you go out and you do your thing.
Yeah,
but like,
do it, bro.
But like with Digimon, it was like they really didn't know what the fuck to do.
They didn't.
They dropped in. They're like, okay, what the fuck is this place? They had no clue. These guys, they were at a camp, and then they dropped into a hole, and they were in the digital world. Like,
figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out. Like, here's a stick and a flint. Try to make a fire.
Yeah, like, it's like, whoa.
You know,
it's how, because both of these shows, games, everything, both of these ideas have deep themes of growing up. Right. It's how you're going to do it. It's what are your experiences were. I don't necessarily, because the thing is, the one most important part is that they are so different, but I don't think any aspect is really better in terms of how they get you to grow up. Right. Because growing up is different for everybody. There's similar themes, like kind of like in the shows, how no matter what, the shows are about growing up. But at the same time, they're also about friendship. Both shows are about friendship. Yeah. Both shows are about the bond you have with not just your friends and yourself, but between your monster. Right. Because like I said, that's a common thing. And it's such an interesting concept to really explore because all the range, because these are both very different extremes that explore very similar themes, just in completely different ways. Yeah. And it's gorgeous, and that's why I think they're so much fun. Because why I don't think, like I said, we don't try to declare a winner, because very rarely it's not necessarily one idea is better than the other. They're just different, and whatever one you prefer, you may lean that way. Now, and yeah.
I do have one thing that I really like that between Digimon and Pokemon. So like Pokemon, they get to a certain level or a certain experience and they evolve, right? Yeah. But with Digimon, it was you had to have a connection with that Digimon. Mm-hmm. And when they Digivolve, it was even harder because you had to connect on a personal. Yeah. You had to melt, and if you didn't melt, it was like you're fucked. Yeah. Like when they did the first DNA Digivolve, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. I was like, this is insanity. Like, the thing is that I think personally, and now both Ash and Ty, for at least this picture in the background, the picture we have, these two are the epitome of like friendship with their monster. Mm-hmm. But like, if I had to say between the two of them who had a better friendship, I'd have to say Ty And only because he has to melt with his Pokemon. Oh, God.
Digimon.
With his Digimon. Yeah. With his Digimon to get anything to happen. Like, Ash just didn't want Pikachu to evolve to Raichu. That's why he didn't do it.
Well, Pikachu didn't want to evolve into Raichu.
That too. Well,
Ash was going to... I remember that episode. Ash was going to evolve Pikachu.
Right.
Pikachu got his ass kicked.
Yeah, I remember
By
this.
a Raichu.
Yeah, okay.
So Ash was going to evolve him, and Pikachu said, no, I don't want to evolve. Ash trusted in his Pokemon that Pikachu knew what was best for everybody, but also what it wanted. Yeah. Now, that's the thing is, like, I understand what you're saying, and it really hammers home. It's the necessity to establish a friendship. Yeah. Whereas Pokemon is much more, it just kind of happens naturally. Yeah. Like, we go on adventures together, we become closer. It's just how it works. Right. So, because I'm going to take the opposite stance. I really, really like Pokemon and how the sense that, like, when you establish a friendship with your Pokemon, it's because you've been through some shit together, and it just happens naturally. Right. And like we said, it's not necessarily one's better than the other, because it's really not. They're just different sides of basically the same coin. Yeah. But I think that's one of the main reasons why I like Pokemon more, and that I liked Pokemon more, especially when I was a kid, was that it was so just natural. Like, we hated each other, and now we love each other because we've been through some shit. We had some great times, some bad times. We beat some really great gym leaders. We've lost a couple of times. We lost to a Sandshrew that could jump in the water.
Sandshrew back in the pool!
That's one of my favorite fucking episodes.
But Sandshrews are weakened by water!
I know that!
We became closer. And it's just, to me, that really resonates more with me. But that's just me. Yeah. That's what's so cool about these two, is that I really enjoy how different and also similar they are. And that's what we do here on Juxtaposition. The similarities and the differences.
So my closing statement is, and this is something that I enjoyed about both. Yeah. Is that, like you said, it's all about friendship.
Oh yeah.
It's all about who you gonna like trust the most, except for the one that's always with you, the Digimon or the Pokemon that's always with you and that has your fucking back.
Oh yeah.
On everything. Like,
oh yeah.
You know, they literally, there was a point where you know, they jump in for each other and they save each other. And this is on both shows. They save each other from something happening drastic, and then that reciprocates back to that Digimon or that Pokemon, like, just absolutely falling in love with their friend. Oh yeah. And that's a friendship, that's a bond that'll never get broken.
Exactly.
Another thing I'm gonna say, this is really quick. Is that I really enjoyed, and I don't know if you knew this, there was a Pokemon stage show that they did, a live action stage show that they did.
Did not know that.
That right now, I'm gonna say that's my closing statement, is that Pokemon definitely did something great that Digimon will never probably ever do, and that's a stage show that was a live action show with a big fat fucking Pikachu. It was the best thing ever.
I would love to see that.
I will show you later on.
That sounds cool as
fuck. It's literally the best video I've ever seen. A big fat Pikachu that takes up 80% of the stage. I'm just saying.
That's super cool. Wow,
yeah,
wow.
Taller than Ash and Brock and all of them.
Wow, that's crazy as hell, dude.
But yeah.
That's a lot of fun. And no matter what, you have fun. And I think that's really what it comes down to when it comes to enjoyment factors. You're entertained, you're having fun, and you're learning something important. Because when you learn about friendship, responsibility, and growing up, those are some extremely important lessons that we can all take away. No matter if we're 60 years old, you still got a lot to learn when you're 60, because there's still so many things out there that you don't know. Yeah. Even about yourself. Like, a lot of people, like, you know, once you hit 40, everything's the same. Yeah. It's like, I just don't know about that. There's so many other things that you've never done and never seen and never even thought to think that there's no way you're done growing up. There's no way you're done learning new things. And both of these shows are about learning about new things, about yourself, about the world, about friendship. Yeah. And it really makes you connected, like you were saying, which is important, is the connection that you feel to your friends. Yeah. And that's, I think, what both shows, when it all boils down to the end of the day, it's about growing up and it's about friendship. And those are the two major things that it's about. Yeah. And those are lessons time.
It was a good episode.
Great idea. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate your presence. It was a great time.
It was a fun time. I enjoy your Charizard that looks like it's about 800 years old.
Oh, and it is. I got that when I was a kid. Not necessarily a kid, but maybe like 14. So a long time ago, but it was one of my prized possessions, and I can't get rid of it. I got the day that I got Nate a Blastoise.
Yeah.
And Nate still has his Blastoise because our favorite starters are Charizard and Blastoise.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I'm like, I gotta get Nate the Blastoise, even though I had no money, running on allowance money. I gotta get Nate that Blastoise. I gotta get it for him. So I got it, and it was in a way, it's kind of like our friendship.
That's sweet.
Because even though we're both very different, because Nathan and I are both very different people, we're still really good friends.
Yeah.
And so in that respect, the ripple effects is felt by both Pokemon and Digimon. Granted, we share it through Pokemon, but even so, the friendship it's everywhere.
The thing I enjoy about this whole thing is like the fact that, even though we're not like, even though you guys play like older games and stuff like that. You guys play some older games, some newer games and stuff like that. But you guys just enjoy. You play the games for the games, and that's what I do.
Damn right.
I don't play like if I don't want to play a video game, I'm not gonna fucking play it. Like that's
I agree.
That's why I played Pokemon all the time. I fucking played Pokemon all the time because I fucking loved it.